The 9th century AD marked a period of significant change and upheaval across the world. From the sprawling deserts of Arabia to the windswept shores of Scandinavia, great empires rose and fell, leaving an indelible mark on history. This was an era of both cultural brilliance and violent conflict, a time when the seeds of the modern world were sown. In the east, the Abbasid Caliphate, heirs to the legacy of Prophet Muhammad, presided over a golden age of Islamic civilization. From their capital in Baghdad, the Abbasid caliphs ruled over a vast empire that stretched from North Africa to Central Asia. Meanwhile, in Europe, the demise of the Roman Empire had left a power vacuum that was filled by emerging kingdoms and duchies. The Vikings, fierce warriors from Scandinavia, launched daring raids across the continent, striking fear into the hearts of monks and kings alike. The 9th century was a crossroads in history. It was a time when the old order crumbled and new powers emerged, shaping the destiny of continents for centuries to come. Under the Abbasid Caliphate, the Islamic world experienced a flourishing of art, science, and literature that would leave an enduring legacy. The Abbasid caliphs, particularly Harun al-Rashid and his son al-Ma'mun, were great patrons of learning. They generously funded scholars, artists, and scientists, attracting some of the brightest minds from across the known world to their court in Baghdad. The Islamic Golden Age was not merely a period of preservation of ancient knowledge, but also one of remarkable innovation. Muslim scholars made groundbreaking advancements in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy, laying the foundation for future scientific progress in Europe and beyond. This era saw the emergence of towering intellectual figures like Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, whose work revolutionized mathematics, and Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, whose medical encyclopedia, The Canon of Medicine, remained a standard textbook in Europe for centuries. At the heart of this intellectual revolution was the House of Wisdom, a renowned library and research center established in Baghdad by the Abbasid caliphs. The House of Wisdom became a beacon of knowledge, attracting scholars from all corners of the Abbasid Empire and beyond. Here, scholars translated ancient Greek, Persian, and Indian texts into Arabic, preserving invaluable knowledge that might have otherwise been lost. The House of Wisdom served as a melting pot of ideas where scholars from diverse backgrounds collaborated and built upon each other's work, fostering an unprecedented spirit of intellectual inquiry. The legacy of the House of Wisdom extended far beyond its walls. The knowledge cultivated within its halls spread throughout the Islamic world and beyond, influencing the development of science, medicine, and philosophy for centuries to come. While the Islamic world flourished, Europe trembled before a new threat from the north, the Vikings. These fierce Scandinavian warriors, expert sailors and ruthless raiders emerged from their homelands in Denmark, Norway and Sweden, seeking plunder and conquest. Driven by a combination of factors, including overpopulation, a desire for wealth and the relative weakness of their neighbors, the Vikings embarked on a campaign of raiding and expansion that would leave a lasting impact on European history and culture. Their longships, swift and maneuverable, allowed them to navigate rivers and coastlines with ease, striking fear into the hearts of coastal communities. Monasteries, rich in treasures and poorly defended, became prime targets for Viking raids. Section 5. The Vikings Impact. The Viking raids were not merely acts of plunder, but also catalysts for significant political and cultural change in Europe. The Vikings' military prowess forced European rulers to bolster their defenses, leading to the rise of fortified towns and castles. Their raids also disrupted trade routes and weakened existing kingdoms, contributing to the fragmentation of power in Europe. However, the Vikings were not merely agents of destruction. They were also skilled traders, explorers, and craftsmen. They established settlements and trading posts across Europe, from Ireland to Russia, forging new economic and cultural connections. The Vikings' voyages of exploration led them to Iceland, Greenland, and even North America centuries before Columbus. Section 6. A fractured caliphate. Despite the brilliance of the Islamic Golden Age, the Abbasid Caliphate, like all empires, faced internal challenges that would ultimately lead to its decline. By the 9th century, the Abbasid Caliphate was a vast and unwieldy empire stretching from North Africa to Central Asia. Managing such a vast territory proved increasingly difficult, and the caliphs in Baghdad found their authority challenged by ambitious governors and local rulers seeking greater autonomy. Internal divisions within the caliphate, along with economic pressures and external threats, weakened the Abbasids' grip on power. Revolts and uprisings became increasingly common, eroding the caliphate's authority and leading to the fragmentation of the once mighty empire. New independent dynasties emerged, challenging the Abbasids for control of the Islamic world. Section 7. New kingdoms rise. While the Abbasid Caliphate fractured in the east, new kingdoms were taking shape in Europe. In the year 800 AD, Charlemagne, the king of the Franks, was crowned Emperor of the Romans by Pope Leo III in Rome. This momentous event marked the beginning of the Carolingian Empire, a short-lived but significant attempt to revive the legacy of the Roman Empire in Western Europe. Charlemagne, a skilled military leader and administrator, expanded his kingdom through conquest and diplomacy, uniting much of Western Europe under his rule. He instituted reforms in education, law, and administration, fostering a brief but brilliant Carolingian Renaissance. The Carolingian Empire, however, proved as ephemeral as its predecessor. Internal divisions and external pressures led to its disintegration shortly after Charlemagne's death, once again fragmenting Western Europe into smaller kingdoms. Section 8. Charlemagne's Legacy. Despite its short lifespan, the Carolingian Empire left a lasting impact on Europe. Charlemagne's reign saw a revival of learning and culture, known as the Carolingian Renaissance. He established schools and monasteries, promoted literacy, and encouraged the copying and preservation of ancient texts. His court became a center of intellectual activity, attracting scholars from across Europe. Charlemagne's reforms in law, administration, and coinage laid the groundwork for the development of feudalism and the emergence of distinct national identities in Europe. Although his empire ultimately crumbled, his legacy as a unifier and a patron of learning endured. Section 9. A seat of learning. Meanwhile, in the east, another center of learning was emerging, one that would rival the House of Wisdom in its influence and prestige. The University of Al-Khwarizmi. Founded in 859 AD by Fatima al-Fihri, a learned woman from a wealthy family in Fez, Morocco, Al-Khwarizmi is considered by some historians to be the oldest continuously operating university in the world. Initially a mosque, Al-Khwarizmi evolved into a thriving center of Islamic scholarship, attracting students and scholars from across the Muslim world. It offered a wide range of subjects, including Islamic studies, law, grammar, medicine, astronomy, and mathematics, playing a pivotal role in the transmission of knowledge during the Islamic Golden Age. Section 10. A lasting legacy. The 9th century AD was a time of both great upheaval and remarkable cultural and intellectual achievements. The Islamic Golden Age, the Viking raids, the Carolingian Empire, and the founding of the University of Al-Khwarizmi were all pivotal events that shaped the course of history. The knowledge cultivated during this era, from the mathematical innovations of Al-Khwarizmi to the medical insights of Ibn Sina, would lay the foundation for future scientific and intellectual advancements. The political and cultural transformations of the 9th century left an indelible mark on the world, shaping the destinies of continents and leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate today. Section 11. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 9th century AD stands as a testament to humanity's capacity for both creation and destruction. It was an era of empires and raids, of cultural brilliance and violent conflict, a time when the seeds of the modern world were sown. From the flourishing of Islamic civilization in Baghdad to the terror of the Viking raids in Europe, the 9th century left an unforgettable mark on history, shaping the political, cultural, and intellectual landscape of the world for centuries to come.